For a video that took me 3 hours to edit, no way. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not, baby. Thank you very much. If you missed my live videos, well, you can go check it out. But for now, I'm not doing live videos. Hello and welcome to Your Journey Matters. My name is Dr. Richard, and I am trying to be intentional in everything I do. Now, for the past 2 years, I have tried to create content on YouTube, and I say tried because I've put in my best, but I have realized that it could be better. After 2 years of trials and errors and personal growth, self awareness, I have come to one conclusion. I think I don't have the resilience yet to be able to pour my heart, soul, and effort into content creation and not reap or receive the attention that it deserves. Does that sound selfish? Does that sound narcissistic? I don't know, and I don't care. At my age, I think I want to live true to myself. I want to be at peace above all. I want to be able to go to bed and lay down and not think, ah, how many views does this video have? Ah, why did this video not do well? Ah, what videos can I do that will, give me 100 views, 1 million views? I don't know, but I want to enjoy what I do. And what I enjoy doing is inspiring others. What I enjoy doing is putting a smile on your faces. What I enjoy doing is being positive and talking positive and staying positive, which, let's be very sincere, not everybody has the resilience to be able to keep going when things are not going the way you imagine them to be. So I was watching a documentary. I've been watching a lot of documentaries of late, and the documentary was talking about why people are more resilient than others, and they were talking about one factor that really came to me was the fact that sometimes these things are hereditary because they discovered when a mother is depressed or anxious or has some sort of psychological or nervous problems, she easily transmits that to her child. So they decided to begin to treat mothers um, with depression while they were pregnant and not just take care of their physical being during pregnancy. Now, I do not know why I don't have that much resilience, but I know that I'm working towards it. I'm trying to build um, my resilience, but for now, and I'm trying to take good care of my mental health. So the video is this, it says mental health and why what makes us strong. So I would really encourage you to look for it and watch it because what I do here is to encourage people. Hello, Martin Barker, Virginia. So, like I said, I discovered I am not at a point where I want to invest so much time, 3 hours of the day, 6 hours of the day, and create a video, edit it, and then only for the video to do boring. But rather, I find that when I talk to you directly in front of the camera, it's easier to stay concentrated, it's easier to stay focused, and just speak straight from the heart without cutting corners, right? So I've been shying away from doing that. Another thing that made me stop creating content was the fact that I am I am not a great speaker as I want to be. So even though I edit it, the editing is not the problem. The problem or what matters most is the content. Yeah. So why are we here today? Um, I was listening to a story over the weekend about a very popular TikToker with about 400,000 followers who was invited to a social event. And when she got there, we'll call her Monica. When she got there, she was not allowed. She didn't have the invitation that permitted her to go to the red carpet. Yeah. So from what I learned from that video, apparently there's a hierarchy in the list of invitation cards that go out, and based on the hierarchy, so you're important, less important, least important, and it goes on like that. And unfortunately, she went with a group of colleagues, but she called them her friends, and at the end of the day, she had to go through the back door to attend the event. Now, three things that I wanted to pick out of that video. First of all, to be an influencer is a very heavy job. I remember somewhere in the scripture where the Bible says, let's not all be desirous of being teachers, because teaching or even influencing in this case is a very heavy job. It comes with a lot of responsibility. I didn't know that when you are invited to an event, the bigger your platform, the more your appearance matters. So, for example, in Monica's case, she had to get a stylist, makeup artist for those who do makeup, um, make her own dress, pay her own transport. Whereas the bigger influencers have people already have a large following that people want to use them as piggy banks or use them to show up, to showcase their own products. So what am I saying? Like if it were a bigger influencer, like maybe Jennifer Lopez, for example, and they knew somehow by her publicist that she was attending that event, someone would want her to wear their dress, their shoes, someone will offer her free makeup. The long and short of it is that when you are working somewhere in those kind of publicity fields like social influencers or content creators, the level of popularity that you have in matters with the kind of places that you're exposed to, so to say. So she wasn't allowed to go on the red carpet. She sent to the alley, which wasn't safe by all indications. But that was the first thing, that popularity comes at a cost for many of us. Popularity comes at a cost. There's someone who has built her brand and is now famous and has people that she influences. She's not just a content creator like myself, but yet there was a moment of rejection for her. And that takes me to the second point. What do you do when you feel rejected? And I think that is why I put it what I put up. For many of us, when we have not done the work, like I'm discovering, we really don't know how to separate logic from emotion. So we tend to sit in our feelings as opposed to separate the emotion from the feelings and see what can be done. So this lady was rejected from going through the doors that would take her to the red carpet, right? But in that humiliation, when she was feeling humiliated and going back, she lost the key that gave her access to the main event, which was actually the initial purpose of going there, was to make contact, was to make connections, to grow her business, because content creation or influencing is a business, right? And so someone else took that opportunity. Now, I would have probably reacted like that. And I think I'm also at that stage in my life on YouTube where I still am influenced by how well or how poor my contents go. So that is why I don't do that. Will I get over it? Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm not like now I'm talking to you. I'm not as nervous as I was when I started doing like videos. I think a couple of years ago. I hold myself more accountable than I hold the public, and I know more and more that I don't control people's reaction. So that was the second thing that I learned, that it takes a lot of self awareness, a lot of work in regards to personal growth to be able to separate the emotions from the logic. So you didn't get to go on the red carpet. But if you were still have you still have access, yes. Would you still do it? Yes. Would you still benefit from it? Yes. So she should have just said, it's all right. I can still go in. There are people like the Princess, the Duchess of Success there. There are bigger brands there. There are bigger influencers that she could have taken pictures and attracted more followers, more viewing to her page, and converted it to money. Because at the end of the day, content creation is a work, it's a business. So she lost that entire opportunity because she was unable to separate that. And for me, this coming to you live is my own way of dealing with that insecurity to say, fine, it doesn't cost me as much because when I finish here, the only thing I edit is the thumbnail and the title, and I can go to sleep and I know that I have created content. How professional is the content for now should not be a problem until I have built enough resilience to not care or excuse my do not give a damn about how many people view the content. But when we're working on the inner me, are we doing life? Lesson number three for me from this experience. I'm sorry it's raining. Hopefully you can hear me. I probably will have to close from very soon. But the lesson number three was a lot of times, and I used to be that victim. A lot of times, people you think are your friends are not really your friends. They are nothing but acquaintances, people that there is a common goal that has brought you guys together. In this case, they were fellow content creators, probably in the same niche. That was why they were invited to the same event. But she had assumed that because they hung out together often, they were her friends. They were not her friends, because a true friend has your back. And yes, they wouldn't have given up their cards to miss the opportunity of being on the red carpet, but at least someone would have volunteered to, accompany her, or for them stood up for her to say, no, but we're all going together, find a way to see. But nobody offered that moral support while she needed it. Now, during the event, she still didn't go in. I don't know if after the event someone bothered to call her. No. You know, this happened to me when I was in high school. And I think there was a certain time some friends came to me and asked me if I needed help. And I think I did the foolish thing of trusting, and I admitted my problems to this certain group of persons. And before you know it, the whole problem was around the whole school. And those people who thought that I was their friend or they were my friend came to me and said, why would you go to strangers and ask for help when you could have come to us? And so the whole scandal, it was so embarrassing. And that was when I realized you don't tell your problems to everybody, you know, and you have to learn to read the room. There is something my dad told me when I was a child. He said quarrels and misunderstandings is what strengthens the friendship, the bond of friendship. And so after that incident, for me, that relationship died naturally. It just died because they had broken a trust. I had spoken to them in confidence and they broke it. So that died. But I took a lesson with me from that to say, even though you are friendly with people or you make acquaintances with people, read the room. Don't share with people things that you will be embarrassed or offended to hear afterwards, right? So now I know when I'm chatting with people, I can tell them about aspects of my life that if tomorrow I hear it somewhere else, so what? It's not a secret. I wasn't expecting them to keep it a secret. But I would know, okay, I can trust this person with more information or less information because they can or cannot keep their mouth shut. So that is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Um, it's 2026. I'm getting older. I'm getting wiser, and I don't want anything to stress me. The main purpose of coming to YouTube was to try and see if I could make of this a career or a side income, but it didn't happen. And so this has become a sort of kind of leisure activity for me. So I don't want it to stress me. I just want to enjoy the process and see how I develop my communication skills more than anything. And also living in a foreign country where I speak Spanish for most of the time, this is also an avenue to be in contact in with the English speakers. To speak English more often is an opportunity. So for me, creating content on YouTube is a leisure activity, I can put it that way for now. I am in no way, from what I have learned over the 2 years that I've been here, I'm in no way to make it uh, a real business, so to say. The growth is slow, I'm learning, but for now, I just want to enjoy it. That's all. I just want to enjoy it. I'm not really wholeheartedly willing to give my time and effort for people to, you know, just flip by. And if you watch the analysis, people, they will tell you how many percentage of people flipped by, how many percentage of people stayed to watch, how long they watched. All those things are not really healthy for one's mental health. Sometimes when I'm in a good space, I go through them and I say, okay, no, there is growth. There are more casual viewers. There are returnees. But at the point where I am now, no, I'm not giving you guys that much time again. No, we'll be doing this face to face as often as we can because the numbers actually don't matter again. What matters is you're returning. So if you subscribe, thank you. But I'll prefer you came back, watched it, watch the content and like it, or more especially, tell me what it is you want to see. The other day, someone was asking if I will give English classes here on YouTube to my Spanish speakers. And it was an idea, but I have a language channel already. I have a language channel if you are interested in learning English with me. It's called, let me show you the page so that you can see. Um, it's called Donna L'autodidacte Africaine. And this is the page. So you can find it. Let me put it behind. That way you can see it. Yeah. So that's my language channel. For those of you interested in learning languages. And I don't really mind. If you're interested, I won't charge you, especially if you're learning something like Italian or Portuguese or Spanish. I'm looking for a practice partner. So that's why I dropped it there. Let me know or leave me a message. My contact details for Instagram, WhatsApp is everything on my page. I'll see you guys very soon. It's raining, okay? I can hardly hear myself and I'm recovering from a cough, so I don't want to scream too much.
But bye bye. Gracias para los que están aquí y hablan español. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí conmigo. Está lloviendo, tengo que irme. Chao.